Alright, so after we've done that, we want to add these two names. For example, after we've selected an item, we want to get the name of the zone and the system classification of it as well. So as usual, I create a code block here, and in it I put in x plus underscore plus y, and then we can connect it to these two, which adds them up, and there we go. And we can see the list here, for example, vent inside zone ZB, and so on and so on. Now, in order to gather all of these together, I'll add a list here. Now, let's see how many items we want. We have the x, y, and z of the coordinates, plus the element itself, that's 4, and plus this one is 5. So we add 5 items in the list. Now the first one's going to be the element that we have here on the left. Alright, then the next one's going to be the name, which is inside of the code block. Then we have the x, y, and z as the next items. But be sure to follow the correct order. Press run. Alright, and now in the next part, I'll go up here to the library and look for sorts list, and then let's see what we can get. We can select this one that says sort list that uses the practical beam, and let's see, select the one that says 4 at the end of the name, and we have 4 lists as they're shown here. So the sequence gets connected to the list, and so this is how the order goes: 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then let me bring this up here to see what we have here in the list. 1, 2, 3, and 4 here in the list. So for the index of that we have up here, I'll create a code block putting in 4 for that. Then for the next one, I'll put in 1, then 2, then 3, and that's the order. So for the first one that we have up here, the sort index 2, connect that to 4. Then the next item is name, so connect the sort index 3 to 1. Then let me see the next one. Oh, the name was number 2, so connect that one to the index instead. Then number 1, that gets connected to sort index 1, and then the last one, sort index 4 to 3. And alright, let me just zoom out of here and bring this over here. Alright, now I'll press run, and now we can see the list here. So we have the pipes here, and then here, and here, and then finally here. Alright, I'll open up another code block here and put in x, and then open up a bracket and put in 0 inside of it, which means get the index of 0. Alright, then Ctrl C and Ctrl V to copy the code block, but this time edit the 0 to 1. Now let's see what the 0 and 1 are here in the list. So they're basically the element itself and the name. So we'll connect them to the sequence and press run, and there we go. Now from up here in the library, I'll look for list.group and open up this one that says by key. Connect the list to the code block and the keys to this code block down here, and press run. Alright, and now in the next part, we want to count the numbers as well. So in the library, I'll look for count, open it up, and connect it to the groups. Then let's see what we can get. Press run. We have 32 here, so I'll open this up in the second level in order for it to count them one by one. Now we can create a code block and tell it to start the counting from number 1 up to whatever number and add them one by one. And then we can connect that to the count. press run, and you can see the list here. It goes from 1 2 3 4 all the way up to the number of the item that we want here. So after that, I'll use a flatten, which converts a couple of dimensions into one. So press run again, and now this time we'll use the set parameter tool. The value connects to here, and I'll create a parameter here called ID. So open up the parameter properties, name it ID, under text type and identity data. And we'll select the same categories that we had earlier, which were the pipes, the pipe fittings, the pipe accessories, and the plumbing fixtures. And then press OK. And OK here and here as well. Now, whatever one of these elements that we select here, we can see the IT parameter added as well. Alright, now I'll add a string here and write an ID inside of it and connect that to the parameter name. Alright, Ctrl C, Ctrl V for the flatten, and connect the list to the group. And from the other side, it gets connected to the element, and press run. Alright, and now the amount should be given to us here. We'll just have to wait for the process to be done. Alright, so the warning that we get here says the parameter's storage type is not a number. And it's basically saying the parameter that we created here is not from the number type. Now I can either delete the parameter and while I'm making the new parameter, say it has to be under the number type or integer, or I can do something else as well. Right click here and look for toString, which opens up the tool string from objects. Now I can get this and disconnect these two and leave that be for now. Press run, which converts these to text, and then we can connect that to the value here, and this one connects to up here as well. And now we can press run. We shouldn't get a warning now because the number was converted into text. Alright, and now as you can see, it's been successfully done and we get the ID as well. But I'll save the file up to this point, and the important point was if I want to get the pipe accessories or the pipe fittings. For example, here our fitting doesn't have an ID. So if you want to get the same results for the pipe fittings as well, you have to go over to the categories here and put this on pipe fittings. And then this one, the geometry needs to be connected up to here. Now let's test this out to see if we can get the results or not. Alright, connect this to here, and this part that I've grouped is usually used for the pipes, because the pipe fittings are a component themselves and it's not a segment like a pipe, which may need a length to put in and adjust. Although it does have a length itself, but that's a different discussion. Alright, so now that it's done, we can see the results work out, but the only warning that we get is about here. And I can select this part and freeze it as well, so we don't get the warning for the pipe accessories. And then I can press run. Or you can also remove the graph here, whatever you want. But now you can see the ID is set here, and you can see using this method in each zone what kind of pipes and accessories have been used. And this method can be extremely useful in big projects. Now the example here was for the pipes, but you can use this in whichever section you want, whether it be structure or the coating of the rebars, in the joists, in the walls of the architecture, the doors and the walls of the architecture, and so on. And now you can see the warning goes away as well. But let me just get a quick save here and then close it. But now I can go over to the View tab and open up the schedules. Although we'd already gotten a schedule here, let's see on the left it says the 3D view pipes. But now I'll bring the ID and the zones here for you as well, just so you can see how easily we can categorize them. Alright, so I'll open up the schedule properties and select the ID, bring it up here, select the zone as well, bring them down here, and the system type and the name, let's keep them B. And then under the sorting tab, I'll do the sorting based on firstly type and then the size, or I can do something else as well. Do it based on zone first, and let's see what different types and sizes we have in each zone. Then select blank line and check the grand total as well and press OK. And now something interesting should be happening here. Alright, and now let me add the count in the schedule properties as well, so we get the number as well. And the reason that we may not get the ID field in all of the items here is because some of them could be located in different zones. So in order to fix this, we can go over to the filter tab of the schedule properties, and let's say the filtering will be done based on zone equals zone A, which only shows us the zone A here. All right. Now let's go back here to the sorting tab, and the problem that we have right now is the type of the filter itself as well, the one that we've selected here. So let's go over here and add the IT to the categories as well, and then remove it from the filters. Put this on none and then press OK. Let me just select a blank line here, and alright. Now let's see what happens here. Now we get a pretty neat sorting order here as well, and you can see the items listed when the process is done. And if you want to only see the zone A, you can set it on zone A in the filters as well, and add the rest. Alright, and now as you can see, the IDs of all of the elements are listed here. Now I can go over to the filters tab and say let's only have the zone A selected and hide the rest. And I can also get multiple duplicates of the view pipes here and put them based on zone B, zone C, or whatever else it is you want. So we have 2,783 items in the zone A.